A lot can happen between falling in love with a house and owning it. Having an advocate who can help you navigate negotiations, timelines, inspections, and more can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
It's warming up, folks, and about time to turn on your AC unit and cross your fingers. Or you can give up that moment of truth and switch to an American Standard heat pump system like I did. My place is on Comfort Autopilot thanks to American Standard. Energy efficient and reliable, my heat pump keeps things cool like the Arctic in the summer. And with energy incentives, I was able to save. Ready for the future of comfort? Learn more at AmericanStandardAir.com/electrification.
I do it while making coffee.
I do it in the car.
I do it when the kids are asleep.
What are they all doing?
Using Dermaclara's 100% medical-grade silicone patches. Safe, natural, and effective, these patches start showing results in just 20 minutes per use. Jessica saw her fine lines fade in a week, and Megan's stretch marks disappeared within a month. Dermaclara patches are reusable and easy to use. They deliver visible improvements in 30 days with just one ingredient. Visit dermaclara.com today and transform your skin anytime, anywhere.
All right, places, please. The Daly Migs Show is on deck. Guitars plugged in. Drums ready to go. Chickens. Other animals. And action. This is the Daly Migs Show on The Rock with Taryn Daly and Steve Migs.
While listening to the Daly Migs Show, please refrain from any unnecessary finger gesturing.
99.9 KISW.
Good morning and happy Monday, Rockaholics. Wanted to give a quick congratulations to all of the graduates. There were a lot of graduations over the weekend, so shout out to all the Rockaholics who have kids that graduated. Shout out to all the Rockaholics who themselves graduated. You did it.
Extra special shout out to all the Rockaholics whose kids are leaving the home and you get to be alone again.
Oh, yeah. You can date your spouse again.
I guess it could be a sad thing, too, but I think a positive thing. You get to date and hang out with your significant other again, like Eddie Vedder said. You go back to being a couple that dates each other.
Kick them out of the nest.
Get the hell out of here.
And also, let's inform the Rockaholics.
Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes, and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Today is a day to enjoy yourself an egg roll.
Okay, I'm in.
That sounds kind of raunchy.
Oh, I like egg rolls.
Okay, good. Are you more of an egg roll or a spring roll kind of person?
You know what? I'm equal opportunity rolls. I like them both.
Because the spring rolls are pretty freaking awesome. Spring rolls all day. Dude, Tatum loves the spring rolls. I say she loves the spring rolls. She loves nothing inside of the spring roll. She likes that sticky, clear wrapping around the spring roll. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Just the exterior.
Yeah, whatever that. It's like rubbery and and then she always chokes on it. We're always like, stop throwing. She just clumps it all up and puts it in her mouth. Like, just eat a little bit of it. How about enjoy the other stuff that's inside of it that is delicious, or the stuff that you dip it in that's also delicious? Why do you like this bland, sticky, see-through wrapping on the spring roll? I don't know. Can't figure that kid out sometimes. Hey, let's talk about this guy who's based in Britain, and he was arrested last week because, well, he stole 17 tubes of Pringles during multiple burglaries, and also he was stealing from some convenience stores as well. Here's the best part. The cops come up to him and they're like, why did you steal 17 tubes of Pringles? And he actually said, quote, once you pop, you can't stop. Yes, he quoted this catchphrase. Once you pop,
you can't stop. Pringles did have some great commercials back in the day.
I mean, that one alone is just fantastic. If I was a cop, I might let him go. I mean, like, just give us the money for what you owe. That was a very clever answer. I'd be a terrible cop, clearly.
At a commencement speech at the University of Pennsylvania last week, a Pulitzer Prize-winning oncologist revealed the 4 most common last words. They are, I love you, I forgive you, do you love me?
Well, it's a little late.
And will you forgive me? So it's all about love and forgiveness, apparently. The speaker then urged the graduating class to take expressing themselves very seriously. He said that you're living in a world where love and forgiveness have become meaningless. They are words people have learned to laugh at. So it seems like love and forgiveness matter more than anything.
I'm trying to think of what would be my last... You know how they always say, like, what's the last text you sent to your significant other, and that's the last words that you gave them?
Oh.
Do you know what the last...
I'll pull it up right now.
That's what she said. Oh, man. So if this was my last words to my wife, it would just say, good luck, ha-ha.
Good luck. Mine said, love my bear, XOXO.
Aww.
I do love my big bear.
Is that what you call Brad?
My big bear.
Big Bear Brad, Triple B?
Yeah.
All right, Danny. Okie dokie. Do you use that term, too?
Yeah, that's what I said. That was my last one.
I say okie dokie to my wife at least once a day.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I am very worried that Sarah's is not safe for work.
Do we need to get the bleep button out?
It is actually safe. Oh my God, be careful, cutie. I'm good, but I miss you.
But you're not good. You gotta remove that part.
And I got to throw up, guys.
Okie dokie. Good luck, Big Bear. So crazy. Oh, man, where the hell are we? I just lost track. Okay, here we are. There's a library in Finland that just received an old library book. It was 80 years overdue. At that point, do you even return it? It was a copy of Conan Doyle's The Refugees, which I've been trying to take out, but it's been gone for all this time. So now I can finally get it out of there. And according to a librarian, I mean, this one came, they took it out back in 1939. They say, we get these kinds of returns all the time, like tens of years late every once in a while. But this happens quite a bit because sometimes someone passes away, you go through their stuff and you realize, oh, there's still a book that they never returned to the library. And so the families are like, we should probably bring it back.
When was the last time you checked out a book from a library, Steve?
Oh, Miss Smarty Pants. It was maybe like 3 months ago.
Really?
It was a children's book for Tatum. My wife made me go with them.
Oh,
I do not have a library card.
I need to try and get back into that place because it's been decades for me.
Do any of you have library cards? No, Danny? No.
No. I need to get on that, though.
My wife has one so she could take Tatum to go take out some books, and that's about it.
For the kids, Sarah, I need to be a better mom.
Oh,
I need to introduce
I don't
them to the
have
library.
those, so I'm like, why would you go to a library?
Honestly, nothing has changed. It's still the same. It's just a big place full of books. It's not much fun.
Does it still smell the same?
I don't know what I was expecting.
And it's like way too quiet.
Super quiet.
I used to get in so much trouble back in the day.
And when you have a toddler, it's kind of hard to keep them quiet.
Yeah.
Hey, as far as weather, we are going to hit a high of 77 degrees. A perfect day to go check out your Seattle Mariners at home, T-Mobile Park, taking on Chicago. And that is the DMD, and that's what's up.
The Daily Migs Show.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in to navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
It's warming up, folks, and about time to turn on your AC unit and cross your fingers. Or you can give up that moment of truth and switch to an American Standard heat pump system like I did. My place is on Comfort Autopilot thanks to American Standard. Energy efficient and reliable, my heat pump keeps things cool like the Arctic in the summer. And with energy incentives, I was able to save. Ready for the future of comfort? Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic. With 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors: pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime. Made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
The Daily Migs Show.
Thank you for tuning into the Daily Migs Show on the Rock of Seattle. Rockaholics, this morning, we want to know, when did you do something at work and knew you'd be fired for it? 206-803-ROCK. The reason we are asking is because there is a guy who posted a video of a Domino's driver cursing him out because he only tipped 20%, and it was during the middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah, I would probably tip a lot more. I don't know. I'm not saying he should have cursed him out, but I think if I had somebody come into my house, especially when it was like freezing cold the other day, where it was like just, I was about to say a bad word, but it was super freaking cold, I think I would throw a couple extra bucks just because, man, this sucks for you too.
Yeah, it's cold out there. It's a dangerous situation. They're putting their life at risk potentially to get you your food. So he threatened the customer's life as he walked away in the snow, and we have the audio of the confrontation.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Yeah, whatever. For a $2 tip. You know what? I should have had you guys come to the store.
Yeah, good thing I got this on film. Good job losing your job. Domino's driver pissed about 20% tip. In this weather, go straight to Domino's. Chill, because I could kill you.
Ooh. I could kill you? Is that what he said?
Oh, yeah. The customer called Domino's, told them all about it, and apparently the employee who picked up the phone said that driver already had a few write-ups and would probably lose their job.
Oh, so it was one of those guys that when you answer the phone, you're like, oh, it's Bob. Yeah, Bob's already kind of a pain in our ass. So
he's a problem.
He's probably not going to be delivering you pizza anytime soon.
Well, later on, the customer was interviewed about what happened and had this to say.
I wasn't planning on calling the store until I saw the death threat, and just having someone that manic out there, I thought needed to be addressed. The tip was $5.30-something cents. There was a $3.99 delivery charge. The food itself was almost $30. So the biggest premise that people are having a hard time with, when he says $2 at the beginning, that's him exaggerating.
I like to know if that's true or not. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a way to. I would hope that this guy's not going to lie about that because, I mean, there's probably a receipt or some kind of a paper trail. Because if you only did give $2 for a tip, then you deserve to have your life. No, I'm kidding. You shouldn't have your life put into question, but $2 is pretty bad.
Yeah,
I wonder why he said thanks for the $2 tip.
I'm not sure. The story may continue to unfold. Rockaholics were talking about a man who threatened a customer that he was going to kill him over a delivery tip. It was really insane. When did you deserve to be fired? That's what we would like to know. 206-803-ROCK. We're going to take your calls and texts after Aerosmith.
The Daly Migs Show. The Daly Migs Show. Hi. The Daly Migs Show.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. There's a man who threatened a customer, said he was going to kill him all because of a bad tip.
Well, somebody brought up a good point because I guess not an interesting point because the whole story was about how this guy was mad that he only got tipped 20%, even though he said that he only got $2. But it turns out the customer said he gave him 20%, and he was like, well, I gave him 20%, and then I also paid the delivery charge. And some people are bringing up a point. I guess the delivery fee, for some reason, does not go to the driver. It goes to the business, which that doesn't make any sense to me.
Huh. That's an interesting... I don't know why that is.
It's never made sense to me either, but I've heard that a lot. Like, yeah, they don't, if they have a delivery fee, make sure you tip the delivery driver too, because everyone just assumes that that's what it is. And it's like, no, the business gets it for some reason.
That makes absolute no sense. I mean, is it to cover the cost of having a delivery driver? But at that point, it's like, what are you doing? You're in a business where you're delivering food to people.
It feels like the extra services and charges when you buy like concert tickets or something like that too.
These days, especially because it's like everything's computerized and like service and handling. I'm like, who's handling it? A robot?
Nobody.
Why am I paying this robot money?
Well, the question we have this morning is, when did you deserve to be fired? 206-803-ROCK. Bob in Tacoma.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. What did you do that was fire-worthy?
Well, back in the 80s when I worked at Safeway at nights, we used to go into the frozen food section, take shrimp, and fire up the donut fryer in the bakery and eat shrimp all night long, and then they'd bitch about the donuts tasting like fish the next day.
Who doesn't love shrimp-flavored donuts?
Nobody that I know. Hey, Migs, I'm still waiting for you to tell me your go-to Chinese food place in South Sound, Tacoma area.
Tacoma, I don't really hit much on. A Rose Garden in Puyallup is where I go.
Okay, where do you go in Puyallup?
That's Rose Garden. It's called Rose Garden. That's where we end up getting our Chinese food from, and it's awesome.
Okay, I'll check it out. And go to Sumo. I told you about that one.
Is that the one that's run where the robots deliver you sushi?
Yep.
Yes, I knew. Dude, I remember you texted about that one. I was like, we have to go check that out at some point. They have robots. Here we are joking about robots and service and handling and all that. But apparently robots will bring you the food, right?
That's correct.
So do these robots look like the robots we see in sci-fi films? Or I haven't seen any videos or pictures of it.
No, it looks like R2-D2 with shelves on him.
Okay, that's amazing.
So how much do you tip a robot?
I grease the wheels as they go by.
That's fair. Yeah, just bring some WD-40 and you're good to go. Dude, yeah, I have to absolutely check out. It's called Sumo in Tacoma. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's on 38th.
Right on, my man.
Right on. Thanks, Bob. Oh my gosh, can you imagine the disappointment of biting into a donut that tasted like fish?
Oh gosh.
I mean, yeah, I'm a fan of shrimp flavored stuff, like shrimp flavored ramen noodles and all that kind of. But shrimp flavored donuts sounds like a terrible idea.
Found out some more information about delivery fees. So the delivery fee goes to paying the cost for the delivery driver. So in other words, that goes towards their base pay.
That sounds so stupid.
And then also for like vehicle maintenance, gassing up, stuff like that. But it's not considered a tip.
I mean, that just seems like another way to get a couple extra dollars out of a customer.
I
if you
agree.
ask me, but that seems a little strange to me.
I've never been fired.
Oh, I was about to ask you that question. So you,
I've never been fired.
Just volunteering that. You're just such a great employee that no one would ever fire you.
Well, knock on wood,
Okay.
fingers crossed.
Let's
never
keep the trend going, Taryn.
Never been fired. I
got a kid to feed.
I did walk off of a job before, like walked out of a job once.
Why?
Because I just kind of had it with there was a gal that we were kind of battling, and the owners were really favoring her, and she was terrible, and I had just kind of had enough.
Why do you think they were favoring her over you?
Because, I mean, she was definitely like the senior employee. She had been there for a long time. But, we were both Zumba instructors at the time. Please don't laugh. Don't
sorry,
laugh.
I already started.
We were
I already
Zumba
started
instructors.
You should have told me not to laugh before you said that.
And I covered her classes anytime that she needed a sub, and she would never reciprocate if I needed coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of got a little bit heated and got worse and worse and worse until one day I was like, I'm out of here.
Did you
Left my key on the table, and I had brought my own personal Keurig into the office there, ripped the cord out of the wall, marched out of there. No coffee for you people.
You should have just slammed and broke that Keurig right in front of the place just to be like added insult to injury. Did you take your playlist with you as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There was definitely some fun Latin beats on there. Shake my booty a little bit. Steve, have you been fired before?
I have, but not for anything stupid. It was just one of those things where they changed. I guess it was stupid in my eyes because they changed formats. It was when I was working at a different radio station, and we were on it was like a alternative rock, but like more like the classic hits of alternative rock. It's now Jack here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it was called K-Rock. And we were there for a little bit, and it just didn't work out, my old show. And then they pulled us into the office. The part that just sucked, and it was just like, you knew it was happening, even though they didn't want to say. You know how like a lot of times you're like, dude, what's going on? Of course they can't say. It's an awkward question to ask someone. Are you going to fire me? It's like, well, wait 30 seconds, and yes, we will. But let's get to the office. But of course, we're all like, what's going on? What's going on? But as we were walking to the office, that's when we started to hear the format flip happen. So it was like whatever alternative rock song was playing at the time. And then it goes into Pink, and I'll never forget this. Let's get that party started song. And I'm like, that's not a song we've ever played before. So clearly they're changing the formats, or for some reason they changed the station on the overhead speaker, which would never happen. And so you knew it walking into the meeting, and then of course they want to kind of have like. They want to kind of ease you into the firing, but you're like, dude, I already know it, man. You're playing Pink. Just like, this is the dumbest thing. Like, what kind of suspense are we building? Just fire us at this point.
I also like that it was Pink, get the party started or whatever. Like they're celebrating.
Well, yeah. I mean,
let's start this party. Get these guys out of here.
You got the right. I mean, what else are you gonna play at that time? I mean, I don't know what would be a good song to get like take this job and shove it. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That seems a little strange. Somebody said I got fired for hitting on my boss's wife at the company barbecue. I was drunk and deserved it. I like the ones where people are willing to just come clean and be like, look, I did deserve to get fired, like this text. I was having a bad day and this customer was being an ass. Really rude and started yelling at me about needing more ketchup. Well, we have our ketchup bottles in squeeze bottles, so I squirted it at him. Right in his face, got some in his ear. I was fired on the spot. Worth it, LOL.
Is that considered assault?
I'll buy a ketchup squirt bottle.
That's pretty wild.
I would have tipped that person on the way out. Not if I was getting the ketchup squirted on me, but if I was like going to the other tables and I saw that happen, I'd be like, "Here's $20."
Sorry.
You just get, not even sorry. You just gave me some great entertainment.
That's the kind of stuff you wish that you had a camera so you could have filmed it.
Right.
That makes great internet content.
The Daily Migs Show.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in to navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I do it while making coffee.
I do it in the car.
I do it when the kids are asleep.
What are they all doing? Using Dermaclara's 100% medical grade silicone patches to fight fine lines and wrinkles. These clever patches are safe and natural and so incredibly effective that you can start seeing results in just 20 minutes per use. Jessica from New York did it while reading her favorite book and saw her fine lines fading in just a week. Megan from California did it while catching up on her favorite show and watched her stretch marks disappear within a month. Dermaclara patches enhance your skin's natural healing process with just one ingredient, 100% medical-grade silicone. They're reusable, easy to use, and deliver visible improvements in 30 days. At Dermaclara, we prioritize safety without compromising results, which is perfect for every stage of your skincare journey. So what are you waiting for? Join the countless others who do it anytime, anywhere, and transform your skin. Visit dermaclara.com today and say goodbye to wrinkles and hello to beautiful, radiant skin.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With an American Standard heat pump system, the future of heating and cooling your home is already here. Bringing constant comfort to your home, American Standard heat pumps are energy efficient, reliable, and ready for tomorrow, today. Plus, making the upgrade from your traditional furnace or AC unit is easier than ever before with home energy offers, rebates, and tax credits. Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Logan from Puyallup is. Logan, are you there?
I am here.
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
All right, bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Logan has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's go.
With the number being in the 20s, how many Grand Slam singles titles did Serena Williams win across her career?
21, 22, 23.
23, yes. The Chiefs defeated what team last year to win the Super Bowl?
The Giants?
No.
Frick, who was it? Pass.
What country is the largest oil producer in the world?
Russia?
No.
Pass.
What band had the 90s hit song Iris?
Google Dolls.
Yes. What kind of peas do people in the South often eat for good luck on New Year's Eve?
Snap pea?
No.
Frick. Green?
No.
Frick, pass. I don't know.
Tom Hanks plays Chuck Noland in what early 2000s movie?
Pass.
Bjorn Borg is famous for playing what sport?
Soccer?
No.
Football?
No.
Golf?
No. What do you mix with rum to make a dark and stormy cocktail?
Coke?
No. Logan.
Those were hard.
Those were very hard. Two correct.
What are those questions?
They were hard, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Steve's going to get more or less?
More. How many did Logan get again? Oh, 2. Yeah, Logan, I don't know, man. I always root for the underdog, though.
I don't know. We'll see how hard they are, because I kind of feel like Steve might do pretty well. And I'm never on Steve's side, so...
Welcome to the dark side, Sarah.
Oh, gosh. Are you ready? Yes! With the number being in the 20s, how many Grand Slam singles titles did Serena Williams win across her career?
21.
No.
20.
No.
24.
Ooh, no.
23?
Yes. The Chiefs defeated what team last year to win the Super Bowl?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes. What country is the largest oil producer in the world?
What country? Iran?
No.
Iraq.
No.
Canada.
No. What band had the 90s hit song Iris?
Oh. Don't want the world to see me. I don't know.
You don't need to sing it.
Words to the song. Google Dolls.
Correct. What kind of peas do people in the South often eat for good luck on New Year's Eve?
What kind of peas?
Yes.
Chick?
No.
Green?
No.
Big?
No. Tom Hanks plays Chuck Nolan in what early 2000s movie?
Who?
Tom Hanks.
Chuck, no. Forrest Gump.
No.
Philadelphia.
No.
Big.
No. Bjorn Borg is famous for playing what
Tennis.
sport? Yes. What do you mix with rum to make a dark and stormy cocktail?
Chocolate milk.
What? No.
Oh
Wow, maybe these were hard. But Steve, you got 3 correct, which unfortunately is a win, 3-2.
Yeah, dominant performance.
No, do not. Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
I'm the best.
Oh, no.
I'm the best.
Wow, Danny, I guess you were right because that.
The fire in Steve's eyes. He's so pleased with his performance.
Well, I thought I lost. So with that performance, I was like, man. And so finding out I won.
Honestly, I don't really like ties, but I wish you guys both have tied because neither of you deserved that win.
I'm the best.
You eventually got 23 was the number that Serena Williams got. Very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
What country is the largest oil producer in the world? This surprised me.
It's not the Netherlands, is it?
No.
Oh.
Danny, you have any idea?
Nope.
We're in it right now.
America?
The United States
Yup.
of America.
Oh, I was going to guess that just to be a goober, and I didn't.
You didn't. You guessed Canada instead. So.
I did.
What kind of peas do people in the South often eat for good luck?
Black-eyed peas, right?
Black-eyed peas.
Come on, baby.
Yup. Tom Hanks
That makes
plays
sense.
Chuck Nolan in what 2000s movie?
I don't know. Did
Sully?
you say 2000s movie?
Mm-hmm. Early 2000s.
Joe versus the volcano.
Castaway.
That's
Oh, dang it.
Wilson.
Yes. And what do you mix with rum to make a dark and stormy cocktail?
Ginger beer.
Ginger beer.
Just rum and ginger beer?
Yes, ma'am.
It's like
Is
a
it
Moscow
good?
Mule, but with rum. It's fabulous.
Yeah, and it's
Dark rum or
dark
like-
rum.
Oh,
Dark
okay.
rum. That's what's dark and stormy.
Oh, duh.
The Daily Migs Show.
This is the Rock of Seattle, 99.9 KISW. We found a great chat on social media where people are talking about some of these everyday things that many people do that are actually super disrespectful.
Okay, I'm curious to see if any of these we're guilty of.
I mean, I think we might check a few boxes here within the 4 of us. Abandoning stuff in a store in the wrong place or shelf.
I have been guilty of that.
Definitely done that. Not recently, but I have done it.
I try not to do that. Like I like to say that I always go back to where I picked up a shirt or something, but sometimes I'm just like, I got to get home. I don't feel like waiting. I just kind of put it somewhere.
Well, and I never thought of this, but it says if you're too lazy to return it where you got it, just hand it to the cashier at the checkout.
See,
I didn't even think of that.
How funny is it in my head? That's more disrespectful. Like, here, take this. But, and you're right. Like, otherwise, they have to, like, see it. Because a lot of these stores now, everything's kind of accounted for. So if somebody goes online saying, oh, this shirt's available, and then they go and they can't find it because Stevie Nimrod over here just put it wherever he wanted to.
Parents who let their kids run amok in public spaces and don't do anything when a kid makes a nuisance of themselves. They say that it's the excuse of they're just a kid, but it translates to bad parenting.
I'm trying to be better about it because now being a parent, I understand kids are completely insane.
They're feral.
It depends on the day, but sometimes they're just bonkers. And you just don't know if maybe most days this parent's got it all under control, but maybe that's just one of those days for them. The place where I still get a little pissy is at like the public parks where they have like the giant slide, like that tube slide. Or there was one time we were there and all the kids are having fun. And yeah, you get it. Like kids are going to move kids out of the way. Kids are going to climb over kids. I understand that. But there was one kid that was just sitting at the end of the slide and would not get up and move. And all these kids wanted to slide down it. And like when some kids would try and slide, he would like almost like push them away. And I felt like, where's this freaking kid's parent? And I realized, I don't know if it was a parent or a babysitter or what, but she was like sitting on a bench playing on her phone.
Oh.
So finally, I'm just like, hey, kid, why don't you get off the slide? my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Look, there's a whole bunch of kids that want to go down this slide. Like, what am I supposed to go over that lady? Like, ma'am, can you please tell your child to get off the slide?" Sorry to interrupt you with whatever you're doing if you're on TikTok.
Also, people who stop walking in the middle of a busy place like an airport.
I hate those people.
It's awful.
Get over to the
I
side.
I don't do this.
I also especially hate them on the not hate's a strong word. I severely dislike the people when they're walking a crosswalk and they're just taking their sweet ass time when you're trying to turn.
Rate of
and
play, baby.
They're on their phone. You know their legs move quicker than what they're doing. And then when they see you and they see that you're trying to move, I almost like feel like they even slow down more just to be like, I'm establishing this is my territory.
Yeah, move along.
I was like, you will lose this if we decide to go head to head. I'm in a car. Okay. I'm kidding. I'm not going to run them over.
Neighbors who don't respect the quiet hours, especially after midnight.
I feel like you might be guilty of that. But you live on a farm of 5 acres.
I do, and we've thrown some epic parties out there, but also that's why
they
live
have festivals at their house. Like with bands performing and like DJ tents.
Yes.
I keep meaning to go to one of these, like your Halloween parties. And
You guys gotta come.
One of these days I will. I just don't know if it's... I don't know if I'll ever come back.
There was just one year there's been a couple of years where I had our direct neighbors who are wonderful people sent me a personal message because, I always say, don't call the police, call me or text me. Hey, what time is the festival ending? The music is really loud. And I'm like, well, it is 2 a.m. I think that's a legitimate request.
We should probably shut it down.
Let's shut the music down.
Which we have neighbors, and they're awesome. These neighbors, they're kind of behind us. Super great. And I say that they're super great. They just wave at me when they drive by, and I wave back. That's the extent of our. Or if they're walking their kid around, we hi bye.
Oh yeah.
But they seem really nice. But they love throwing parties, maybe once a month, and they're especially when the weather's nice. They're outdoor karaoke parties.
Oh, I want to be friends with your neighbors.
I want them to move closer to you. Because nothing sucks more than listening to people poorly sing songs. And they use a speaker, which I don't know why. Like, do this in your house. Why are you doing this in your backyard? And you can hear it at like 11 p.m., them singing, random Celine Dion.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, different, Billy Idol, whatever it may be. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I like this song. But I'm like, I'm trying to sleep.
Oh, yeah. That's a bummer. Drivers who hang out in the left lane driving too slow. We had someone on Cellmates that got pulled over for driving
our
too
buddy
slow.
Drama, he called and he said he got pulled over for going the speed limit.
People who park in designated spaces that don't pertain to them, like accessible spaces for people with disabilities or curbside pickup if you're not actually curbside picking up.
I was wondering that last night. Shockingly, Tatum wanted Chipotle. It's usually our Tuesday night dinner, but for some reason she stepped it up and wanted it on a Monday night. So what are we supposed to do? So I went up getting it, picked it up, and there was a car that it was in the curbside, and I get in, I get out. There was nobody like waiting to pick up food. I'm like, I think this person just parked there and is eating inside. Maybe they were originally going to go back to their car, and they're like, you know what? Let's just sit down and eat.
And no flushing the toilet in a public restroom. That's another one.
Okay, you're a savage. But you know what? In all fairness, I've been to some places where the toilets don't work all that well.
Yeah, that's true.
And like you flush, and like I don't know about you guys, not to get graphic, but are you guys like, do you like to make sure that you've disposed of everything? Like, what I mean? I want to make sure that I flushed it.
Like leave it better than you found it.
Or at least leave it the same. But like there are some that I'm just like, is this toilet's awful. This is the worst toilet I've ever been around. So maybe it's in those situations where people think they did, like you flush and you walk out and you just assume everything's good.
Oh, good. Ugh. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about public toilets right now.
So what do you think is like one of the more like one that popped up, and I always love when they put up those memes where it shows like how like why Americans can't live in a lawless society, and they base it on whether or not people will bring back their shopping carts.
Oh.
And that's the one for me. Like I get so annoyed when I see somebody go to their car and they fill up their car with whoever's in their shopping cart, and then they just leave it either like in an empty spot next to them, or they just kind of like push it to the side. And I'm looking, and I'm like, it's a little bit of a walk, but it's not that bad. Like you really can't bring it all the way back.
I've seen videos of people being shamed for it, and I love that. Shame them. Shame those people. And people that say, well, that's someone's job to collect and put away the carts. No, that they had to create that job because you're not putting away your carts.
And honestly, I view that job as their job is to take all the carts that have been respectfully put back and bring it back to the store. Like that to me is their job.
It's not going to collect them from the parking lot in random places.
And I feel like there's probably some gym goers that would agree. Like the people, and you see the signs, and I never thought I'd be that person. I get so annoyed when people don't put their weights back. Oh. And you're just like, Especially, I don't mind. It gets annoying when like the dumbbells are not in perfect order. It's kind of frustrating. It's the ones where like it's a machine where you have to put like a free weight on it, like a plate on it, and then they don't put it back, so you don't know if this machine's being used or not. So now you're just kind of like that weirdo that keeps checking to see if it's being used, and then eventually you do use it, and then some dude comes out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, I'm using that, man." I'm like, no one's been here for like the last 30 minutes. What are you talking about?
See, I always put my weights back. I thought you were going to go with the people that don't wipe down their machine after they use it, and there's the big old sweat stain on it.
Yeah.
And I have been guilty of just forgetting. Like, I'll walk away from using a machine, and I'm like, oh, I never cleaned that one. Sorry.
Sorry about the
about
Danny Musk left behind.
But I'm not usually like I think it's my wife that's like, she's a massive germaphobe. Like, she's just like, she won't even like, if I get home from the gym, she's like, don't sit anywhere. Make sure you take off all that clothing. Like, she's like, so sometimes I'm really hungry and I get home and I'm just like, well, I want to eat my lunch. She's like, eat standing up. It's like, okay. I'm like, I wipe down the machine before I use it and then after. Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, I could sit wherever I want.
Yeah.
Not in my house.
The Daily Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Daily Migs Show.
This is the Daily Migs Show, and Rockaholics, we want to know if you have ever needed surgery for an epic reason. 206-803-ROCK. We are asking because Corey texted us earlier, and we loved his story so much over text that we knew we needed to get him on the phone. Corey, I understand you're driving on 405. Be safe out there, brother.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I will.
So, Corey, earlier we were talking about this guy who had brain surgery, and he was playing the guitar. He was fully alert, and they're doing brain surgery while he's playing the guitar. And then we ended up talking about, like, somebody once was doing a violin or a Rubik's Cube. And we just started talking about all these crazy things that happen while people are getting brain surgery done to themselves. And you texted in. We were just about to go to a break, so we didn't have time to talk to you. But you were like, yeah, I had brain surgery. And you started listing off all the crazy things that you were having to do while you were alert.
Yeah, it's an interesting reason, and the reason they're doing it, obviously, and probably similar to the gentleman you were talking about, is to figure out, where they can, they kind of poke and prod to figure out where they can cut and where they can remove. So when I had mine, they had warned me ahead of time. They said, hey, you're going to wake up, we'll wake you up during this, and you're going to go through some tests. So obviously they knocked me out, cut my head open, took the skull out or whatever, and started the brain surgery. And then throughout the surgery, they put my head in a brace and then actually, woke me back up. And, you're kind of semi-groggy, obviously, because you're coming out of anesthesia and whatnot. But, I knew what was going on. And so they were showing me, if I remember correctly, it was objects on a card, which is like a black picture, and asking me to identify them. And they're basically poking what I would equate to poking my brain with a stick, and having me do that to see if I would have a reaction to it. And again, it's my understanding the intent of that was to make sure that, if they poked part of my brain and all of a sudden I couldn't say what it was or I made a weird noise or something, hey, that's a part of the brain we probably should leave alone.
I get so grumpy when my wife makes me up from a nap. I don't even know. You are getting woken up while you're having people poking your brain. Do you feel them poking your brain while they're asking you those questions?
No, because you don't actually have nerves on your brain itself, so you don't feel anything. But to your point, I think the worst part of that was being woken up and then having to realize that, oh, you're being put back to sleep, and by the way, we're going to continue cutting into you. You're not even done.
Yeah.
So most of the time when you wake up from a surgery, you're done.
So they wake you up, they poke and prod and ask you all these questions, then they put you back under, and then you get woken up out of anesthesia a second time?
Correct, because they're checking basically, and again, this was 15 years ago, so there's a neurologist out there listening. I'm sorry if I'm not 100% accurate, but essentially they're looking at where they can cut, so they're making their marks or, making their diagram or whatnot, so that when they put me back out, that's when they're actually going to do the removal of the brain, because I had a tumor, so they had to remove actual brain along with the tumor, and so they want to make sure when they're cutting into that and removing that they're not going to damage my brain, my speech centers, my memory, my recognition.
So what kind of recovery was this on the other side of the surgery?
Honestly, it took longer to recover from a root canal than it did that. I was out of the hospital in 36 hours.
This is dumb, but to ask you. But sometimes I've had certain things done, and later on you start feeling like, oh, I feel great, and then all of a sudden, the anesthesia wears off, and you start. Did your brain hurt after the fact, or?
No, that's a very very fair question. So initially, it wasn't that bad. Obviously, I woke up, I was kind of out of it, and then you get back into it. Because not only is the anesthesia wearing off, but you're missing part of your brain now. But I was able to talk and whatnot, and so I had to. They wouldn't let me go home until I was able to use the restroom on my own. Which, by the way, they didn't tell me they was putting a catheter in me either. So that was a fun surprise.
Jeez, man.
When I said, "Hey, I need to go to the bathroom," they said, "Okay, go," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And they said, "No, you're fine to go." And I did the out of the movies where you look down, pull the dress up, and look down, and well, no, the recovery itself. I mean, I went home and was kind of fine. There was obviously. There was swelling and whatnot. Actually, about a week later was when it was probably the worst. That's when, because your brain is essentially rewiring itself and learning what to do again. So there was a few instances there where I couldn't do things. Like I just couldn't do something. I couldn't spell for a while. And then I went through these really crazy mood swings where there was one time where I was just pissed at everything. It didn't matter what it was. I was mad. And mind you, I was 17, so one of my parents stayed home with me. There was another time where I was laughing at everything, probably like your buddy getting super stoned. Like no matter what you said, I was laughing, and I still remember my dad having fun with it because he would he was just he was cracking jokes whenever he could to make me laugh, and I was just dying. So it was a very interesting recovery process.
Corey, this whole thing is crazy, but I think the craziest part is that you thought that there's a neurologist listening to our show that would correct you with any.
Fair point.
All the neurologists are texting in right now.
Wow. So, we didn't ask, and I hope you're okay with me. I said, why did you have to have brain surgery in the first place?
Yeah, so I had they're kind of hard to describe, but I had what we now know is kind of little mini micro seizures, which I would equate to kind of, where you spaced out and kind of snap back into it. And you're like, man, what just happened? Well, I would have those, but I couldn't snap back into it. And I'd actually went to the doctor about it. And they basically just kind of wrote it off as oh, it's part of puberty, it's hormones or whatnot. Mind you, this was not my first surgery. I went in there after I almost cut my thumb off. I had exploratory surgery. I didn't go there because I had a boo-boo, but they kind of wrote it off. Well, I had a grand mal seizure in high school, which is, where I actually fully passed out and my other epileptic people, flopped like a fish type thing. And I got to call them out. My buddy Dave, who was there at the time, I don't think this kid graduated high school, but that kid saved my life because he knew that I was having a seizure while nobody else did.
Wow.
It was to get the food out of my mouth. So, Dave, if you're listening, thanks, man.
Oh, that is terrifying.
Yeah, there's a better chance of Dave listening than a neurologist.
If we're going by IQ, definitely, Mick.
So, how are things?
They ambulanced me, and, I woke up. I'll tell you, scariest part, honestly, of the whole thing probably was I passed out, obviously not knowing what was happening, and I woke up being strapped down to a gurney being loaded in the back of an ambulance. So I had a few choice words for the EMTs and medics because I had no idea what was going on. So that was definitely, that was pretty scary waking up and being strapped down and being wheeled into something.
So then you go in and they find that you have this tumor and you had to have the tumor removed.
Yep. So they did an MRI. The first doctor, honestly, was not very competent. I still remember sitting down with my parents, and the guy, he said, "Hey, I have a tumor." And he goes, "I'm a CNS, which is a neurosurgeon, but also a spine guy." He goes, "I do mostly spine, but I've done a few brain surgeries. It's not exactly what you want to hear."
No.
So
yeah, we'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, give it the best shot. So thank God they referred me up to University of Washington, which is one of the top, I think with the time it was top 10 neurological hospitals in the country, and Dr. Cybergeld, who's up there, is pretty world-renowned. So his confidence level was a lot different, and just basically said, hey, just like your dad or mom goes and does their job, or you go to school, my job is brain surgery, I can do this. So that was much more reassuring.
And how have you been since the surgery? Everything's good?
Yeah, I mean, good for the most part. Sometimes it affected my short-term memory a little bit. Sometimes it's harder to remember things, and occasionally I'll forget somebody's name when I was really good. Used to be really good at that, but outside of that, man, totally fine. Like, I'm grateful. And I know a few other people who have had them. I actually, another gentleman who lives in my neighborhood had surgery by the same guy. So we ended up figuring that out. It was kind of a small world, but so it's kind of fun to talk to other people that they've been through. But, you know, a lot of us are lucky that we did have access to such good medical care. And, you know, other than that crazy experience, not a lot of side effects.
Do you guys call each other brain buddies?
Brain tumor buddies, but very close. Yep. Brain tumor buddies. I actually have two of them that I know of that had similar surgeries. Like I said, one gentleman literally lives in my neighborhood from the same surgeon.
Well, Corey, man, I'm glad you're doing good, and thanks for sharing that story. That's just bonkers.
No, I appreciate you guys having me. It's fun to tell it. First time on the radio, long-time listener, so I appreciate being able to tell my story, and thanks for what you guys do. It makes the 3-hour drives like this a lot more enjoyable.
That means a lot, man. Thank you.
Rock on, Corey. Oh, my gosh. 206-803-ROCK. I feel like my brain is itching just like hearing all this.
The story was crazy, but watching you react to him telling the story might have been my favorite part.
My eyes were watering at one point.
The Daily Migs Show. The Daily Migs Show.
99.9 KISW. I'm not sure anyone can compete with Corey from Buckley's story about his brain surgery experience, but if you ever needed surgery for an epic reason, we want to hear that story. 206-803-ROCK.
We got a text message that said I had to have dental surgery. I was dumb and young, which I feel like is the start to every great story.
Mm-hmm.
And my bud was a good high school baseball player. I told him I could duck quicker than his swing. We timed it wrong. I lost. I got my hand up, but I lost some teeth in the process.
Ouch.
Why would you think that's a good idea?
That just sounds like it's going to end poorly.
Like, Danny, you get a wood bat and swing it as hard as you can.
Oh.
I'm going to duck. I got this. Another person says I once got a stone stuck up my nostril. I was just trying to see if I could fit it up there, and I couldn't get it out. Had to go to the hospital to have it removed.
Is that as a child or as an older person?
Picturing him in his 30s
I hope you
doing
were a
that.
kid.
Have you ever had to have something done?
I did. I had knee surgery. I actually had 2 knee surgeries. The first one was to do the main repair. My kneecap would not stop dislocating.
Okay.
So you maybe have seen this in, the world of sports or wrestling.
That stuff gives me like the heebie-jeebies. Like whenever I see someone having to pop their kneecap back in, I'm like, I'm good.
So the first couple times it happened, I would go to the doctor, and this started when I was like 12 or 13. The first few times I'd go to the doctor and they'd reset my kneecap, but then I watched them do it so many times I just started resetting it myself.
I can understand that. If eventually you're going to hit a point where you're like, I'm sick of having to go, and I'm now as good of a doctor as you are.
I am a doctor now. Yeah. So I had one really bad final injury when I was about 21. And
do you know what you were doing?
Yeah, I know exactly what I was doing. I was drinking wine.
Okay.
I was talking to my mom on my cell phone, and I was just walking. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was kind of pacing in a kitchen, and I turned, and when I turned, my knee blew out, and my mom on the other line hears glass breaking and me screaming, and then the phone went out.
That's something that every mom wants to hear on the other end of. How far do they live from you?
Well, I was in Pullman at this time, and my parents are 6 hours away in Stanwood. So, and I called my sister because she knows the history of my injuries. And I said, you got to come pick me up. This is not one I can reset myself. We got to go to the hospital. So she took me to the hospital and they reset it. And the doctor asked, how many times have you self-treated this injury? And I was like,
more than I can
30?
Count. Really?
Probably. And the doctor was like, well, you need surgery yesterday. So you got to go in and do it.
So did you need surgery because you kept doing it and you were causing more and more damage to the knee?
It just kept getting looser and looser and looser and looser. And so they had to do what's called a tibial osteotomy, where they basically realign your kneecap. And I Googled tibial osteotomy, and it translates to bone cutting. So I knew they were going to be cutting out my patellar, like where the patellar tendon attaches to your tibia on your lower leg.
Right.
And basically realigning it, screwing it down.
That sounds like the biggest tongue twister ever that you're just saying. Tibial or whatever.
Tibial osteotomy. and it was a long surgery, had to stay overnight. The recovery was awful, lots of physical therapy. And then one day I ended up getting the hardware taken back out of my knee because the hardware was starting to bother my knee.
Oy.
Yeah.
That's awful.
But you know what? I've never, knock on wood, I have not had a dislocation since then. Not even a subluxation.
I don't even know what word you just said right there, but if you ever did get another dislocation, would you dare try and relocate?
I don't think
relocate
so.
it. That's not the right to reset it.
I mean, since the knee's already been worked on, I
wouldn't
don't
mess
know.
with that.
Probably not. I'd probably just call in the professionals.
Yeah. Oy.
Yeah, it was not a good time at all.
We got a call.
We've got Dawn in Hoodsport.
Hi.
What was your crazy surgery, Dawn?
When I was 16 years old, I was babysitting an 8-year-old, and he slammed a glass against a glass I was holding, and he severed my finger, and I had to have a tendon reattached.
Oh, my gosh.
But later, when he was 19 years old, he killed several people.
Excuse me? What?
Yeah,
I don't
he
mean to
became
laugh.
a serial killer.
What?
No. So do you think when
Yeah.
he cut your finger, do you think that was intentional? Like the writing was on the wall?
Oh, it was definitely intentional.
Whoa.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Can I just ask, where was this?
It was in Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. So obviously you probably lost touch with this kid after a while, and then you find out the news that this person became a serial killer where you're like, that's the same kid?
Same kid. My mom was really good friends with his mom. That's why I babysat him.
And now you have the scar to prove it.
I do.
My God. So they eventually caught him, I'd imagine.
He actually confessed. Him and another kid killed like 3 teenage girls in Nebraska in the 90s. And he confessed. And then when they put him in jail, he actually, after he confessed, he hung himself.
My
wow.
And so the other guy got off.
That is
he no longer,
insanity.
Yeah, I wasn't
he
expecting
no
a
longer
call
could
like this when we were
confront-
talking about surgeries, and all of a sudden it leads to somebody who turned out to be a serial killer in your life.
I
Dawn,
know.
that is nuts.
Yeah, it's a pretty good story.
Okay, so question now. How is your hand?
Well, I was a teenager, so I didn't do physical therapy like I was supposed to. So it's crooked, and I don't have the strength in that one, but other than that, it heals.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, Dawn.
Well, Dawn,
thank you.
thanks for the story. That's crazy.
Oh, my gosh. How would you like to beat Steve, Rockaholics? I don't know where to go from that.
I wasn't thinking that. I did not think that I was going to connect to that part of the story. Like, and then he turned out to be a serial killer.
The Daily Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's warming up, folks, and about time to turn on your AC unit and cross your fingers. Or you can give up that moment of truth and switch to an American Standard heat pump system like I did. My place is on Comfort Autopilot thanks to American Standard. Energy efficient and reliable, my heat pump keeps things cool like the Arctic in the summer. And with energy incentives, I was able to save. Ready for the future of comfort? Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know Yoshi from Redmond is. Yoshi, are you there?
I'm here.
I'm Sarah, your host.
I'm ready.
Yeah, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve. For those playing at home, Yoshi has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Ready.
In computer science, what does AI stand for?
Artificial intelligence.
Correct. Safeco Field was officially renamed T-Mobile Park in what year?
2020, 21, 22.
No. What singer recently released an album titled Cowboy Carter?
Beyonce.
Yes. Which country's flag features the most stars?
The United States.
Correct. Angelina Jolie brought which Disney villain to life?
Pass.
What kind of seeds are used to make tahini sauce?
Sesame seeds.
Yes. Half human, half fish is better known as what mythical creature?
Mermaid.
Correct. What chemical element symbol is an S?
A pass.
Thing 1 and Thing 2 first appeared in what Dr. Seuss book?
Pass.
What's the maximum score you can achieve in 10-pin bowling?
300.
Yes. Angelina Jolie brought which Disney villain to life? No.
Oh.
Yoshi.
I can't think of it.
You got 6 correct, though.
Yeah.
Better than half.
You were on a heater there for a minute.
Yeah, it was a little off and on. You passed when you didn't know, so you played the game well. I still kind of think Steve might win.
Sarah's rooting for you today, Steve.
Oh, I bet she is.
I don't know if I'm rooting for him, but I think you might win.
All right, I love the faith.
Steve, are you ready? Yes! In computer science, what does AI stand for?
Artificial intelligence.
Yes. Safeco Field was officially renamed T-Mobile Park in what year?
Oh, crap. 2018?
No.
2017?
No.
2019?
Yes. What singer recently released an album titled Cowboy Carter?
That would be Beyonce.
Sure is. Which country's flag features the most stars?
I'm going to go our flag. America. United States of America.
Yes. Angelina Jolie brought which Disney villain to life?
Tomb Raider.
No.
Cruella de Vil.
No.
Ah, damn it. I thought that's what it was. The Wicked Witch of the West.
No. What kind of seeds are used to make tahini sauce?
Tahini seeds.
No.
I don't know, sesame seeds?
You do know.
Oh.
Half human, half fish is better known as what mythical creature?
Mermaid.
Yes. What chemical element symbol is an S?
Silver.
No.
Sulfur.
Yes. Thing 1 and Thing 2 first appeared in what Dr. Seuss book?
Oh, the places we'll go?
No.
Green Eggs and Ham?
No.
Dr. Seuss Gone Wild?
No. Steve, you got 7 correct, which is closer than I thought, but it's still a win. Yes. 7-6.
Let's go.
Sorry, Yoshi.
I was also about to say Cruella de Vil, even though I knew it was wrong.
I picture it was 1,000 or 101 Dalmatians, right?
Yeah.
That's
right, though.
That's Emma Stone.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying that Emma Stone played Cruella de Vil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have not seen that.
Oh, it's good.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah.
Is it called Cruella?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, you know so much about it.
A movie that I've never seen.
Danny, do you know Angelina Jolie brought which Disney villain to life?
Maleficent.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I would have never guessed that, actually.
Wow.
And Thing 1 and Thing 2. I think it's the most popular, well-known Dr. Seuss book.
It's got to be The Cat in the Hat.
It sure is.
Yep.
That's why everyone has those Thing 1, Thing 2 shirts at Disney?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mom 1, Mom, or Dad 2, and
Which is funny
Kid
because
3, or whatever the hell it is.
Which is funny because it's not a Disney thing, but people still wear them all the time.
All
there.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one you didn't get to, what's the maximum score you can achieve in 10-pin bowling?
300.
Yes. Well, you won anyway, so congratulations.
The Daily Migs Show. The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics this morning, 206-803-ROCK. We are asking you to call up if you have ever gotten the call that you need to pick up your kid because of their behavior, or when you were a kid, did your parents ever get that call because of something that you did? We're asking this because I got that call yesterday, and now we want to hear from Matt in Monroe. Matthew, what happened to you when you were a kid?
My mom got the call not for behavior, but because I disappeared. Because I ran away from preschool.
Did they
like a prison break?
They lost you? Like they didn't know where you were?
They didn't know where I was. No, I went home and snuck into the house and was hiding out at the house.
Do you remember?
And so they had no idea for about 4 hours where I was.
Oh my gosh.
That is a parent's worst nightmare.
Do you remember why you decided to run away from preschool? Was it like you didn't feel like coloring inside the lines?
I didn't like all the other kids.
Oh, you didn't like the other kids. I gotcha.
I thought maybe it was a bad snack that day. I'm not eating this snack.
I think it's phone cut out on us. But yeah, dude, that's crazy. That would be, you're right. 4 hours of not knowing where your kid is.
That'd give me a complete panic attack.
There are moments where even in our house, I'm like, where's Tatum? And I know she's in the house somewhere. I don't have to really be that worried, but I'm like, we need to call the authorities.
When it gets quiet, that's when you know you're in big trouble.
Such a helicopter fan. Where is she?
Joshua!
She okay?
Joshua in Gig Harbor, what happened in your youth?
Hey, when I was a kid, I went to school at a Catholic school, and Sister Rebecca tried to hit me with a ruler. Steve, she tried to hit me. This is back then. And I took it, and I ran. And I hid in some bushes right next to the police station and a funeral home. And I stayed in there for about 4+ hours.
Dude, the teachers in Catholic schools are straight up, I mean,
terrifying?
Yes. I mean, it's insane. Like hearing your story, I remember when I went to an all-boys Catholic high school, and it was like they would use whatever they could as a weapon, but like you were just constantly being hit. It's like, what a violent way to handle education.
Well, only Sister Rebecca would do the hitting.
Oh, it's always the sisters.
Yeah, and it was one of those long rulers, too.
Ooh.
She came up trying to swing it, and when she swung it, I grabbed it and I ran. I threw it down, had to run down the stairs and hide in the bushes. It was pretty good.
Hey, a little on topic, but a little off topic as well. Do you remember the first curse word that you?
Oh!
That's my fault.
Steve, I knew
That's
you were.
my fault.
I was like, what are you doing?
That's my
Lob
fault.
it up?
That is my fault.
What are you doing?
I thought no, that's on me. As soon as I asked the question, I should have said, "Don't say it," but just give us like the F word, the S word.
Well, apparently he and my 4-year-old son learned the same one.
Well, someone said your kid probably learned it from your dad, because when we had your dad on the other day, he dropped the S word.
That's true. I'm giving all the credit to Papa Craig.
Do we need to have like one of those signs? It's been this many days without the S word being said on the Daily Migs Show.
Apparently.
I feel like every day we've had the S word, except for yesterday.
Now let's just make it one today. Maria in Mukilteo, what happened in your youth?
So when I was in 6th grade, I
my younger brother was in second grade and he was being teased. He was born with some medical issues and he had a prosthetic leg. And so we were at recess and I found my brother on the soccer field crying his eyes out while everybody else was laughing at him and calling him names. And I went over to ask him what was going on. And these kids were teasing him, being very mean. So I literally asked my brother to take his prosthetic leg off and hand it to me. And he looked at me like I was dumb. And I took it from him, and I went and found these boys that were being mean to him, and I hit these boys with his prosthetic leg. What? Yeah, wow. And told them that they were to never treat my brother that way, and if they did, I would do it again. So I, needless to say, went to the principal's office, and they called my mom, and I thought I was going to get in so much trouble, but my mother was just actually proud that I stood up for my brother, so I didn't get in trouble. I did get suspended for 3 days.
Worth it.
Yes, absolutely.
Worth it for what you're taking defense, but also for the story of a lifetime. I mean, I feel like you're the making of like a Quentin Tarantino badass female action star. Give me your leg, and then you just start crushing people with
I was
it.
thinking that could be the new weapon in like a future game of Clue, like in the library with the prosthetic leg. Thanks, Maria. That's wild.
I would never mess with that family again. Like if I'm like one of those idiots out there, and you're like, all of a sudden you see, like you're making fun of a kid, and his sister shows up, and says, "Hand me your leg," and he just hands over the leg, and you just start swinging at people.
I mean, yeah, I wish she was my big sister.
Right.
Todd in Auburn, what's your story this morning?
Well, I got a call when I was at work from my son's vice principal, I think, and he said he'd been caught across the street smoking weed with some other kids.
Oh boy!
And he was getting expelled, and he was in trouble. And I'm like, really? I said that doesn't sound like something my son would do, but okay, you've got him. Obviously, he's sitting in your office. He says you need to come pick him up. I'm like, well, I'm at work. My wife's at work. I said we're an hour plus away from school. And I said, we don't live too far. Send him home. Can you do that? Yes, with your acknowledgement, we can let him go and he can walk home. So I get off the phone with him. I call my wife and, hit her with it. And she's astounded like I am. And maybe 25 minutes goes by and my wife calls me back and she says, are you sure it's our son, Tanner? And I was like, that's what he said. And she's like, there's an older Tanner in the same school that's 1 year older. I was like, oh. So I called the vice principal back, and he was backtracking pretty quick when I asked him which Tanner it was. And, I turned out I released somebody else's kid to walk home, and I told them, I said, you better hang up with me and call that guy's dad, because he's probably going to get in a lot more trouble than he should. But
you would think they would double check those kind of things when you're dealing with somebody's children.
Same first and last name.
Wait a second. What?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
his name's Tanner. It's not Smith, but it's like really weird.
Okay, well then I could understand a little bit, but still kind of weird. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah. Hey, one more quick thing. Love the show, and this one's for Steve.
My man. Oh.
That's the best.
The Daly Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everyone knows social media is a time suck, and what you're about to hear proves it. If it's online, someone, somewhere, has an opinion and is whining about it. So let's get straight to the comments.
There's a podcast called Talking Baseball, and guess what? They talk about baseball.
I hope so. Wouldn't it be great they just did all football and that's it?
Tricked you. So they were talking about a list of the least annoying baseball fan bases, and here are the top 3.
Name the least annoying fan bases according to 1,000 surveys. Orioles. They are number 3 on the list.
The Royals?
The Royals are number 2 on the list.
I'm trying to think of like pleasant interactions I've had. Mariners.
The Mariners are number 1
Yes.
on the list. Jolly
Seattle.
Olive.
Let's go Seattle.
Number 1 in your hearts.
We are the best at not being annoying.
So, of course, this led to some great comments on social media, and that means we have to go straight to the comments.
Yeah, we saw a couple of posts where they had this video, and some of the comments from Mariners fans making fun of themselves are just priceless. So we sent them to Jason, a.k.a. Veggie Dog, a.k.a. VD, our production director, and said, pull out some of your favorite ones and reenact them in whatever voice you want, just to point out how crazy social media gets over the dumbest things. So, Taryn Daly, are you ready for your first comment about the Mariners being the least annoying fan base?
I cannot wait.
Here we go.
What an accomplishment. Knowing the Mariners organization will probably hang a banner for this.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, it's this weekend. They're actually going to be raising the banner. The least annoying fan base in all of baseball. All right, here's our next comment.
The Mariners finally rank number 1 in something!
I mean, they are first place. Cut them some slack.
This is our year.
This is definitely our year. We're unstoppable.
We're too socially awkward to be annoying.
Oh, when you have a voice like that, yeah.
Don't worry. If the Mariners ever get a championship, I promise we're all going to be as annoying as every Seahawks fan you've ever met. Bring it on!
I'm not
Hell
gonna lie.
yeah.
I agree with that statement.
Oh, it's going to be insufferable. Whenever that moment comes, I mean, it's just been years of pent-up frustration. When this team wins the World Series, I don't know if we'll be alive when it happens. Let's hope it does happen this year. But when it does happen, oh, man, people are going to go crazy. It's going to be awesome.
Mariners fans on TV are always happy people drinking beers in the standing room only section of the bleachers. Seems chill.
Yeah, the Pen. That's where we all hang out. Yeah, he's kind of right. People just go to drink and be social. I don't even think people care about the games.
I can't tell you how many Mariners games I've been to where I forgot the score when I left because I was being too social. Did we win?
I don't know. You were at the
Usually no.
game. I'm not sure. Let me check the internet.
Only time I'm ever going to see the M's win anything in my lifetime.
In first place. Let's not forget this,
I
people.
believe.
Here's another comment about the Mariners being voted the least annoying fan base.
Because us Mariners fans have had nothing to cheer for 20 years.
No lies detected. We have one more comment about the Mariners. You ready?
Yes.
I don't know if Mariners fans even know they exist.
Oh, brutal.
I do love the self-deprecation from the Mariners fans on that whole post.
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, the phone number here at the Daily Mig Show is 206-803-ROCK. You can call in at any point during the show for any reason at all and weigh in. Right now, we're talking about Costco. It brings out a lot of passion in us.
I was just there yesterday.
Were you feeling passionate?
Yes, actually.
What were you getting at Costco?
Well, we went there mainly to get toilet paper because you get a crap ton, pun intended, I guess, of toilet paper. But we like getting the Kirkland brand. That's that's our one. It's the price is good.
Signature.
The Kirkland signature, baby. So we get to that corner where they have all the toilet paper, and all they had were Charmins. And it was funny because at first I'm like staring, and I almost like, I don't know what to do right now. I don't see what we usually get. They usually have a crap ton of the Kirkland one. My wife's like, where's the Kirkland? I'm like, I have no idea. And then I started realizing there was like a handful of us looking like zombies, all probably trying to get the Kirkland brand, but it wasn't there.
Very brand loyal.
And you're just like, I guess I'll take the Charmin one.
Because you got to have toilet paper.
Well, we were down to our last roll. So, yes, we absolutely did. So it was dumb, but like the whole time, I'm like, I can't believe, why don't they have their own brand? It's Kirkland brand.
Well, there's a lady who's getting made fun of on TikTok because she was having a bit of a rant due to some Costco changes. And I noticed this, but I felt the opposite way about it. The paper towels are now not individually wrapped in plastic. When you open them up, they're all just in the giant thing.
Oh, we never get paper towels from them. Really?
I always get my paper towels from them. I get my Kleenex. But this lady was losing it. Here is her rant.
Kirkland towels. So disappointed. I was trying to put my groceries away, trying to store my stuff away, and then I find out they're not individually wrapped. You know how hard it is for me to store things when I am limited on space, and I appreciate that they're individually wrapped so I can make them fit and use them when I need them? Come on, Kirkland. I know everybody's trying to save money, but seriously?
How about save the planet and reduce waste? That's how I was feeling. I got excited when I opened up my paper towels. I was like, yeah, they're not using all that plastic.
That's the funny part.
Unnecessary.
Is apparently they didn't do this to cut cost. There was a petition from Costco users that were complaining about them having extra packaging because of, hey, we could reduce paper wrapper waste and things along those lines. So it wasn't even about cost for Costco. They were just trying to make every other Costco customer happy. I don't know why we're going on social media mad about these things. Like it is such a weird world that we live in. Like these are those moments where you're like, you know what, I'm so mad, I'm going to go on social media and people are going to rally behind me, and actually backfired. Everyone's making fun of her for it.
I'm making fun of her for it.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Josh. Not Josh, Justin. Justin at Costco. It was nice to meet him. It's always fun when you're just randomly going around and just like, hey, I thought I'd run into you at some point, but here we are. Costco.
Nice.
I almost was going to, hey, we want to hit the samples together or not?
Do you guys have something that drives you crazy about Costco, or something that you really like about Costco?
I really like Costco, but I don't really, really like it like my husband likes it. Like he would rather go to Costco without me because
attaboy.
Because he's on the loose. He's like a child in a candy store. He can buy whatever he wants. But when I'm there, I'm like, we don't need that. We don't need that. Like last time he went to Costco, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there is a liquor, it's a brandy, but it's in a bottle shaped like a dragon, and it's in like its own case. And my husband has never once asked or tasted brandy or said he liked brandy. And anyway, he sent me a picture. He's like, babe, can I please get this?
How much is it?
That's why I was going to
I think it's like $150. And I was like, what are you going to do with that? Are you actually going to drink it? And he was
stare at it.
He was like, it's a great conversation starter. What? For all the people we don't have over, you just want it on display just in case?
I might visit you guys if you have this on display.
And then, but would you ever drink out of it?
Well, I'm not a brandy kind of guy.
Neither is he.
What is it?
Neither is he.
I haven't seen this thing that he's talking about.
I don't know anyone that's a brandy person.
Dude, I almost bought a laptop yesterday I don't even need.
That's what always happens when you go there. You have a list of like 3 to 10 things, and then you end up buying stuff that you didn't have on your list.
It was $300, and I was like, oh, I don't even. She's like, I don't even think it's good quality. I'm like, for $300, it's worth finding out. I do need a laptop.
That's the magic of
I mean,
Costco.
eventually we'll need one, and that seems like a pretty good price. Sarah showed me a picture of this brandy display. I think he needs to get this.
It is kind of cool.
Look at that dragon. And what's the red thing? It's got like a ball in its mouth. Looks like
I hope it's breathing fire.
I have no idea. And I'm like, if somebody wants it, are we ever going to open it?
No, but dude, if anyone walked into your home, if you're having a party and they see that, they are definitely going to want to talk about that. Look at that fancy yellow gold mat that it's on, like a little mattress. This thing is incredible.
When's his birthday?
Not till November. So
okay. So we have time.
You guys have time
we
to
can
save up.
crowdfund it. Yeah, we can crowdfund
I'm down to start a GoFundMe for him.
I hate you guys.
It's under $200, it looks.
Yeah, it is. He's literally going there today. I am not playing this audio because he'll be like, see, everyone agrees with me, babe.
You're lucky I don't have his cell phone, because I would be Danny, him and I, whenever you think about when to buy something, both of us are the guys that will be like, do it.
You're the worst influences.
No regrets? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Daily Migs Show.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
With an American Standard heat pump system, the future of heating and cooling your home is already here. Bringing constant comfort to your home, American Standard heat pumps are energy efficient, reliable, and ready for tomorrow today. Plus, making the upgrade from your traditional furnace or AC unit is easier than ever before with home energy offers, rebates, and tax credits. Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With an American Standard heat pump system, the future of heating and cooling your home is already here. Bringing constant comfort to your home, American Standard heat pumps are energy efficient, reliable, and ready for tomorrow today. Plus, making the upgrade from your traditional furnace or AC unit is easier than ever before with home energy offers, rebates, and tax credits. Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
If the last few years have taught us anything, it's that human connection means the world. By connecting with one another, we know we're not alone. By connecting, we feel what others feel. We breathe better, laugh easier, and feel healthier. At Regents, connection is at the heart of everything we do. It inspires our commitment to our communities and to you. Here, health isn't just a you thing, it's a we thing. Regents Blue Shield. Together we health.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Be Migs. Be Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa. Be Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to be Migs? I know Rachel from Federal Way is. Rachel, are you there?
I am.
Awesome. I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
All right, bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Rachel has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Which cocktail that originates in Puerto Rico has the same name that translates to strained pineapple?
Pina colada.
Correct. What is the art of making pottery known as?
Pass.
What retired baseball player holds the record for the most home runs in a single season?
Babe Ruth?
No.
Ken Griffey Jr.
No.
Pass.
How many of the 7 dwarfs have beards?
1.
No.
6.
Yes. Which U.S. state produces the most apples?
New York.
No.
Washington.
Correct. You Ought to Know and Hand in My Pocket are songs off what Alanis Morissette album?
Jagged Little Pill.
Yes. The children's show Blue's Clues has been hosted by guys named Steve, Donovan, and who?
Pass.
Where do plants get their energy from?
Sunlight.
Yes. Stan Lee made his last cameo in what Avengers film?
Endgame?
Yes.
Wow.
And with that, you get 6 correct, Rachel. Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
I'm rooting for you, girl.
Yeah, and I'm shocked you got that last one. I thought that was kind of tricky.
I would not have gotten that.
I honestly don't
Full
think I would have
disclosure.
either. No. I think there's like 3 of those movies. Steve, are you ready?
Yeah.
Which cocktail that originates in Puerto Rico has the same name that translates as strained pineapple?
Pina colada?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the art of
My mom's
making
favorite
pottery
drink.
known as?
Potting?
No.
You potting? Ghost.
No.
I don't know. Smooth it out, baby.
No. What retired baseball player holds the record for the most home runs in a single season?
Oh, crap. Is that Sammy Sosa?
No.
Mark McGuire?
No.
Crap. Barry Bonds?
Yes. Wow. How many of the 7 dwarfs have beards?
3.
No.
4.
No.
2.
No.
Damn it.
Which U.S. state
1?
produces the most apples? No.
Washington.
Correct. You Ought to Know and Hand in My Pocket are songs off what Alanis Morissette album?
Oh, crap. I was going to say it's Alanis Morissette, but that's Jagged Little Pill.
Correct. The children's show Blue's Clues has been hosted by guys named Steve, Donovan, and who?
Goofy.
No.
Karen.
No.
Danny.
No. Where do plants get their energy from?
The sun.
Yes. Stan Lee made his last cameo in what Avengers film?
Oh, man. Avengers Part 1.
No. I'm not going to accept that. And with not getting that correct, you got 5, which is a loss. 6-5.
Rachel, my girl.
Woo!
Is it Endgame?
It was Endgame.
I couldn't think of it at the time.
Rachel got that one correct.
Nice.
Yes. Good job, girl.
Thank you.
Does anyone know what
Have a good one, Rachel.
the art of making pottery known as? Taryn, I feel like
I had no idea.
Danny?
Danny, you don't do pottery on the weekends?
I feel like it's something he would do. It's ceramics.
Ceramics? Wait, that's the name of it?
Yes.
But I feel like you do a bunch of stuff with ceramics.
What else do you do?
Got mugs,
You make the mugs.
a vase,
That's the pottery.
Or a vase.
a vase.
You make that all the pottery. That's what it is.
Pottery, I think of like that's where you put plants in.
But you make the pots from the pottery. You make the vases too, and you make that scene where the girl's cuddled around or the guy.
That's Ghost.
Yeah, and that's what they make those out of.
We should recreate that photo.
You and Steve or you and Danny are more
I
than
am
welcome
not doing
to.
that.
I think it should be me and Sarah.
Well,
okay.
I'll do it with Danny.
Okay, now I'm in.
The Daily Migs Show.
The Daily Migs Show.
This is The Rock of Seattle, 99.9 KISW. It could have potentially been the weirdest plot for a superhero movie ever involving both Superman and Batman. It was about 10 years ago that the director Zack Snyder wanted to do a movie where Batman would impregnate Lois Lane, then he would die, and she would raise the child with Superman.
Could you repeat that again? Wait, what?
Batman would impregnate...
Zack Snyder he's like the guy who did Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman and all
Justice
that.
League.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he's had his hand in the Batman and DC universe.
Yeah, so he wanted to really bring them together in this fun, blended family situation where Batman would impregnate Lois Lane, he would die, and then she would raise the child with Superman.
I don't pay attention to the comics. Was this based off of? It sounds like this was just his idea. I don't think this was based off an actual moment in the comic world where, this happened, where Batman didn't use his bat condoms and ended up not bat pulling out or something. I don't know. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, Warner Brothers and DC called the idea super creepy.
I don't know if it's creepy. I think it's weird. I'd go see it. Would you not go see that?
I mean, probably.
Do you frame it as a comedy? I know it's a dark comedy.
Yeah, maybe a dark comedy. I could see that.
It's like the villain Nick Cannon, and he's like trying to impregnate her as well. Like, I don't know.
And it just so happens, I saw, Sarah, you did a poll on Twitter yesterday. Did this have anything to do with this story?
Literally nothing to do with this story. It's just such a weird coincidence.
And Steve and I both voted in your poll yesterday.
Yes, so the husband George and I were watching, I don't know why, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, because I'd never seen it. And
who doesn't watch that every day?
Which is that's Zack Snyder directed.
Oh, yes. Hey, Steve, sometimes it's hard for us to compromise on something to watch.
I feel you.
It's either his documentaries, which I hate, or all of my trashy TV, which he hates.
There's a reason why we watch Kids Baking Challenge all the time, because we both agree on that at least.
Yeah, so we agreed on this movie, and I asked George who he liked better, Batman versus Superman, and I thought it was a complete obvious answer.
See, I was wondering what the backstory was, because I go on your Twitter yesterday, and I did vote. I didn't even bother to text you to be like, why are you doing this? You just wrote, settle this debate for me. Which superhero is better? And it's Batman or Superman.
Yes, and George said Batman.
That's what I said.
What? Oh my God, Superman all the way. I legit, judged him hard for this.
I mean, I just feel like I'm more attracted to Batman in general. It has nothing to do with the superhero. Yeah, same for Steve. It has nothing to do with their superhero status. It's just who I'm more attracted to.
As a kid, I would have voted for Superman, because Superman was the dude. You know, you grew up, and that was he was just larger than life, and he's like the man. But as I've gotten older, I realized Superman's rather boring.
No, okay. He can fly. He can shoot lasers and beams out of his eyes. What do you mean boring?
His personality. There's not. Have you watched the Superman movie? Are you entertained by them?
I am. I watch all the shows, too.
Batman's complex.
Also, yeah, he's got a rad car. Also, he lives in a cave, which is really good for storing your wine, Sarah.
I mean, that's cool, but actual Batman, I am Batman.
See, that's the thing. I like his sexy voice.
I cannot handle him. He's boring, besides all of his fun things.
He's got a butler?
Well, okay, his butler, his invisible car, yeah, those are cool. But his actual
He doesn't have an invisible car. Get with it.
Does he not?
No.
The Batmobile is invisible?
Not that I ever remember. No. Wonder Woman's got an invisible plane. You're screwing everything up.
That's why, because Batman sucks then.
Well, apparently 57% of your very formal poll are saying that Batman is the superior superhero.
I am really, really surprised by this.
But just look at the success of the two. I mean, the Batman movie franchise has dominated. Whereas Superman, it's every time you're just oh gosh, this sucks.
Yeah, but Superman has his own show on the C-Dub, Superman and Lois.
No, show of hands, who's watching that?
Me!
You're the only one with their hand up.
We're gauging somebody's coolness by their show on the CW.
There's been at least 2 seasons, okay? There's no Batman show right now.
Because he's dominating in movies. He doesn't need to step down and do television.
He wasn't even offered to do television.
Honestly, I put Blue Beetle ahead of Superman.
I don't even know who Blue Beetle is.
Dude, it's a movie. It's a superhero, obviously, but it's the kid. It's the kid from Karate Kid is playing Blue Beetle.
It was actually pretty good.
And it's
okay.
It might be my favorite of all the DC movies, which isn't saying much. Well, Batman I put in its own world because those have been good, but all the other DC movies have kind of stunk.
What is Blue Beetle's thing? What's his shtick?
He's a badass. He's a Blue Beetle.
Well, what does he do? Does he shoot venom? What does he do?
No, he's just he's got this super suit that makes him look kind of like a beetle because he's blue.
I keep just picturing
really
a
not that
Volkswagen Beetle. It's like Herbie.
No, he just beat people down, but it's a teenager, so it's kind of a little bit got that flavor of a Spider-Man, kind of there's comedic moments.
Okay, well, this is my homework assignment. I'm gonna watch the Blue Beetle over the weekend,
or
just Blue Beetle.
I think it's just Blue Beetle.
You're asking the wrong person.
And
I'm asking a Batman fan.
Yeah.
It is really like Spider-Man, I think. Which I love Spider-Man, but he's in a whole different world.
It's got, what's his face? George Lopez in it as well.
Yes.
He's funny.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
But it's not nearly as good as Superman, so don't get your hopes up.
Which is also not nearly as good as Batman. But,
The Daily Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
With an American Standard heat pump system, the future of heating and cooling your home is already here. Bringing constant comfort to your home, American Standard heat pumps are energy efficient, reliable, and ready for tomorrow today. Plus, making the upgrade from your traditional furnace or AC unit is easier than ever before with home energy offers, rebates, and tax credits. Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
The Daily Migs Show presents the Extreme Music Showdown. Let's play Hook or Shook. Please sign this waiver before we continue. Thank you. We'll drop a 1-second snippet of the hook of a song. If you can't name the song, watch out. You're gonna get shook.
It is time to play the game Hook or Shook, and this week we are playing for Asking Alexandria tickets. They are going to be at the Showbox on May 12th. And this morning, our contestant is Eric in Eatonville. Eric, good morning. Are you ready to play Hook or Shook?
Yes, I am.
All right. So you have to get both songs right to win. The first one, he's totally on his own. Second one, a member of our show at random has to get it right for you. If you don't get it right, you're going to lose, and caller number 9 will get the tickets. So let's see who you are playing with. Will it be me, Migs, or Sarah?
Taryn. And it's landing on yours truly, Steve Migs. Let's do this. I'm fired up.
You guys are a dream team. I can feel it.
Yeah, we're going to win these tickets, Eric.
Are you ready for your first song?
Sure.
All right, here it is.
Oh, play that again.
Sorry, I was talking.
Sounds like Foo Fighters. Oh, gosh, I don't even know the name of the song.
Would you like Steve Migs to give you a hint?
Sure.
I know the name of the song, but I can't think of a good hint. I'm going to...
I know it's Foo Fighters.
Oh, I got a good one. Someone that is a faker.
A faker?
Yeah.
Only word that comes to my head is imposter. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. My mind is blank.
One more hint.
You want to hear it one more time?
Sure.
Things that children like to do.
Gosh.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
This is a hard one to give a hint for, I tell you.
I kind of want to know what he's referring to now, but
I got one more hint. And I'm really going to spoon feed this one, though. Rhymes with Shmee Shmender.
Oh, my God.
Shmee Shmender.
I think
my
that's
gosh.
all the hints you're allowed to give, Steve.
Come on,
bad.
Rhymes with Shmee Shmender. He's a
my
faker.
gosh.
And kids like to do it. These are good hints.
These are very good hints.
You got this, Eric.
Are you serious? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
Eric.
Sorry, Eric.
You're going to get so mad when we say what it is. Here's my other hint. A female-fronted rock band from the 80s. Nah.
Joan Jett or Stevie Nicks.
Okay, I got one.
The song is
Pretender.
Pretender. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Sorry, Eric, but we appreciate you playing the game, my friend.
Don't kick yourself too hard, but, man, we really tried our best to help you win this one, my man.
You did. I appreciate it. Sorry about that.
Oh, dude, no worries, man. Much love, and thanks for playing and hanging out with us.
Yeah, all right, man.
The Daly Migs Show.
Robots are taking over the world, rockaholics. I think we all know that by now. And there's something happening locally in Seattle. Artley Coffee. They are making the news right now because they're going to have robot baristas. And these AI-driven coffee bar experiences have a couple of bots named Jarvis and Amanda.
Have you seen the video?
I have.
Of the robot?
They do all the little art and everything.
They do, and it's weird because they're wearing bikinis, which I thought was kind of unnecessary for this story. But, hey, to each their own. If you want to double down on the bikini barista experience. I don't know how I feel about robots being baristas. Only because I've gotten, many months ago, my wife gave me a little bit of a hard time because I was terrible at small talk with the baristas whenever we would go and get coffee, because they would always say, "What do you got going on for the day?" And I don't know why I would get annoyed. It's not like they were being rude or anything about it. I was just like, "Oh, I got some errands to do."
That's a very personal question. Thank you.
I just didn't want to bore them with my stuff. Like in my own head, I'm like, just some errands, and they'd ask me what my errands were, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't really have any errands. I'm just going home to go hang out with my kid. And my wife's like, "Why didn't you say you're going home to hang out with your kid?" I'm like, I don't know. So finally I got into actually telling them what I'm doing because they always ask that question. And then it ends up being a real fun conversation. Robots aren't going to give me that experience.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
When you go to this coffee place, do they now know your order?
There are several coffee places in Puyallup that know our order. That's how much of a problem we have.
That is one thing that the robot, I don't think, can do. Unless they start using facial recognition.
Which they will. Of course they're going to scan it. And I know
weird.
I saw the stories. The guy was like, "Oh, we're not trying to take away jobs from people." I'm like, "Well, what exactly are?" I mean, you pretty much are. That means that one less barista you need to have work at your place.
Well, and I mean, do you leave a tip?
I ain't leaving. Oh man, now I'm worried though if the robot wants to kill you after the fact, like if it becomes like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that. I don't know. Of course not. You're not going to leave a tip for a robot for maintenance.
Maybe
robot maintenance.
Yeah.
I say this though. I'm like, I'm never going to want to go to this place. I'm all up in arms. But during the commercial or during the song that we were just playing, the Nirvana song, I'm looking at Danny. I'm like, "You want to go to that robot sushi place that our texters have been telling us about?" And we went online. And have you seen the robot?
No.
The sushi. It's called Sumo Japanese Restaurant. And it's all you can eat. And you put in your order, and then a little robot comes over and brings you your food.
Oh,
and this robot is adorable.
He
I want to go
cute.
so bad.
I think we're going this week now.
Yeah.
I would go on a field trip for that.
Yes.
It has a little face. It has little eyes.
And all you can eat is $20 for lunch.
That's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
I had sushi on Friday night, and it was
more than
more
$20.
expensive than that.
Sometimes a roll is $20.
Well, with this coffee place that's going to have the robots, you can just order the drink at a little kiosk, and then the little robot arm comes out and beep, burp, beep, burp, makes your little latte.
Someone says there's a robot barista in Portland, and I have to admit, it's pretty cool to watch.
I
Tell
mean,
that to the unemployed barista.
Robots are performing surgeries, it's crazy.
It is pretty nuts, though. Obviously, this is just the beginning, too.
What is your coffee order, Steve?
I don't think anything's that crazy. It's just an Americano. I don't
With room for cream?
A little oat milk, a little splish splash, some oat milk. But do you have a weird coffee order?
No, I mean, some people are like, so if you order it like this, it sounds less bougie.
Okay.
A double tall, skinny vanilla latte.
That still sounds kind of bougie.
But if you say the whole thing, a double tall, sugar-free vanilla, non-fat latte, then you sound like, what are you, a princess?
Yeah.
My mom's is even worse.
I've never used the term skinny, and I didn't know I was ordering something that I guess was a sugar-free something or whatever, and then they read it back to me and they said, blah, 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 skinny latte. And I'm like, no.
I didn't say that.
That's not what I ordered. And they're like, yes, sir, that's what you ordered. And I repeat my order, and they go back, and I think they're effing with me. And they're like, yes, that's a skinny latte. I'm like, no, at no point did I say anything about it being skinny.
Well, and I think that the skinny thing, that was originally a Starbucks term.
Yeah.
But now all of them, pretty much anybody has adopted that same, But listen to what my mom's coffee order is. And can the robot do this? Triple grande, non-fat, no whip, half the chocolate mocha.
Triple grande?
Triple grande.
Is she just bringing a jug?
Triple grande, non-fat, no whip, half the chocolate mocha. And seriously, when you order from a robot barista, I mean, I don't think that's saving me any time if I have to type in my whole long order now. You know what I mean?
You'll be able to read your mind, so you don't have to worry about it.
No, I know.
Also, Steve, the triple just means triple shot. Doesn't mean it's a triple, like 3 coffees.
Oh, I was saying, because a grande is like, what, a 16 ounce?
So it's
And I'm
a
like, well,
grande
16
with 3
times 3, I didn't
shots.
want to do that math, so I just said a big jug. Because I was like, I don't even want to risk trying to do the math of 16 times 3.
The crazy thing is I saw where your brain was going, and I was like, Steve's imagining your mom walking out with like
one of those big cups. You know, like the one you get at like 7-Eleven?
Yes,
I'm like, big gulp. Like, your mom, I'm a little concerned about her heart health. That's a lot of coffee.
So when you do an Americano, how many shots do you
I don't know, whatever they give me.
You don't
Here's the
even know how
problem.
many shots are in it?
No. And my wife was...
The robot knows.
Oh, that's great. My wife will pull the, like, we'll go somewhere new, and she's like, well, ask him how many shots that are in that drink. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And she's like, why can't, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And she's like, why not? I'm like, I don't want to make this difficult. She's like, it's not difficult for them. I was once a barista. They're not going to be bothered by it. I'm like, it's difficult for me. I just want to go and say the order and move on with my day. I'm not going to grill them about how many shots they're putting in my coffee.
Have you had the experience where you order a coffee somewhere not in the state of Washington and they look at you like you're crazy, or they just don't have any idea what you're talking about? Like, we speak a different language of coffee here than they do in other places.
Yes. I think it might have been either Florida or New Jersey, one of the times we went, and I remember asking for some kind of, it might have been just like soy milk or oat milk, and they looked at me like I was insane. They're just like, what, excuse me? I was like, non-dairy creamer? No. And they just looked at me, no, we don't have that.
Yeah.
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, there is a recent poll that has taken a look at the top everyday decisions we all have to make, but apparently we all struggle with them.
I'm curious about this because I wonder how many of these lead to, not arguments, but maybe just like spirited conversations with your significant other. Because sometimes I think making a decision with somebody is a lot harder.
Well, especially if you both are bad decision makers.
And you overthink it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are they?
So these are the top 10. Number 1 is what to eat.
We leave it up to our 4-year-old. It's so much easier.
If I leave it up to my 4-year-old, I'll be eating Dino Nuggets every night.
You say that like it's a bad thing. They make
I do
plant-based versions of the Dino Nuggets.
They do. It's right.
And
they
they're
even make
awesome.
gluten-free ones.
Yeah, they're up to it. They understand. Yeah, for us, we'd be eating Chipotle almost every single day. But there are times where we're like, all right, we're going to go out to eat. What do you want to get for food? And then I'll just throw it out to my daughter thinking, oh, she's going to say Chipotle. And then she'll come out of like left field with something like, she's like teriyaki. I'm like, didn't even think about that, but let's do it.
I wish that someone would make food decisions for me. I'm bad at it.
Would you like to borrow Tatum?
Maybe.
Okay.
The second one on the list, what to watch on TV.
That one, I think, might be the most frustrating for us because I want to watch stuff when we finally sit down, but I know my wife is going to fall asleep because she's exhausted, and I get it. Like, she's been going all day with Tatum, and it's by the time 8:30 comes around, she's ready to shut it down. I am too, but I got a good 30 to an hour in my tank to watch stuff. And as soon as I put something on that I think is interesting, but it's episodic, she falls asleep. So I'm like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
There is no point of us watching. So we end up watching like home renovation shows and cooking shows because at least if you fall asleep on those, who cares?
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
There's also what to wear.
Well, I have like 4 things I just cycle through. So it's just like whatever's on top of my on top of the dryer that I fold the laundry on.
Did
Boom.
it take you long to decide what to wear yesterday when we were on television?
No, legitimately, that was the first thing that was on top of my pile of things to wear.
So your wife doesn't like dress you or anything like that?
No, I'd be too frustrated because every time she looks at me, she's like, are you going to wear that? Or she'll make fun of me. She's like, how many versions of that do you have in different colors? I'm like, just 3. Like pants. I just got a new pair of pants. And she's just like, don't you have those in black and tan as well? I'm like, yeah, but now I have gray.
Yeah, you're well-rounded.
In my eyes.
Yes.
Those are different pants. She's like, because they're the same style, that I'm being a weirdo for that.
This one, Steve, whether spending money on something is worth it.
Well, the answer is always yes.
I was going to say, you seem to be an impulsive purchaser. Is your wife less impulsive than you or not impulsive at all?
It depends on the thing. Sometimes I'm like, what are you buying? Like, what is this? Well, even yesterday we had an instance where I did not realize how much something cost as a Christmas gift for Tatum until I saw the price on the box because we were finally playing with this toy that I have not seen since Christmas. And it's like a little train track thing, and it's got like a slide on it. And so you put it together. And as we're playing, I look over and I look at the box, and it was over $100. And I'm like, this thing cost us over $100. She's like, yeah, I'm glad she's finally playing with it. And in my head, I'm like, I got to pay more attention to what we're buying.
I also feel
this thing, honestly, if I saw at Target and it was $40, I'd be like, this is overpriced.
But I feel like they can dangle the carrot in front of your nose with like a targeted ad. Like, do you get the targeted ads get you?
Oh, if it has a Kraken logo on it, yeah, absolutely.
Done.
Yeah.
Purchased.
Do you make a bunch of impulsive purchases, or is it Brad?
Oh, it's definitely me. Brad doesn't even have like an Amazon account. He doesn't know how to like online shop. He asks me to order things for him, which I do. He doesn't even know how
basic.
to.
I love
It's
it.
so insane. I remember when he bought his radio partner a gift card online once, and it was the first online purchase he had ever made, and he was so excited and proud of himself. It was great. What about personal hygiene?
What does that mean?
I don't even know.
Showering?
I don't know. Daily struggles with
Like, do
personal
I
hygiene.
shave today? Like, is that what it is? Yeah. Because I know for me, it's just like I just kind of like feel my face. If it's too scruffy, I'm like, oh, I should probably shave. My wife's probably going to get annoyed if I don't.
I mean, I've said about my legs for the last like 7 days, like, you should shave, and then I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm struggling to make that decision. Today might be the day. Today might be the day.
The Daily Migs Show. Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Today is a day to enjoy yourself an egg roll.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
in.
that sounds kind of raunchy.
Oh, I like egg rolls.
Okay, good. Are you more of an egg roll or a spring roll kind of person?
You know what? I'm equal opportunity rolls. I like them both.
Because the spring rolls are pretty freaking awesome. Spring rolls all day. Dude, Tatum loves the spring rolls. I say she loves the spring rolls. She loves nothing inside of the spring roll. She likes that sticky, clear wrapping around the spring roll. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Just the exterior.
Yeah, whatever that. It's like rubbery and then she always chokes on it. We're always like, stop throwing. She just clumps it all up and puts it in her mouth. Like, just eat a little bit of it. How about enjoy the other stuff that's inside of it that is delicious, or the stuff that you dip it in that's also delicious? Why do you like this bland, sticky, see-through wrapping on the spring roll? I don't know. Can't figure that kid out sometimes. Hey, let's talk about this guy who's based in Britain, and he was arrested last week because, well, he stole 17 tubes of Pringles during multiple burglaries, and also he was stealing from some convenience stores as well. Here's the best part. The cops come up to him and they're like, why did you steal 17 tubes of Pringles? And he actually said, quote, once you pop, you can't stop. Yes, he quoted this catchphrase.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Pringles did have some great commercials back in the day.
I mean, that one alone is just fantastic. If I was a cop, I might let him go. I'd be like, just give us the money for what you owe. That was a very clever answer. I'd be a terrible cop, clearly.
At a commencement speech at the University of Pennsylvania last week, a Pulitzer Prize-winning oncologist revealed the 4 most common last words. They are, I love you, I forgive you, do you love me,
Well, it's a little late.
and will you forgive me? So it's all about love and forgiveness, apparently. The speaker then urged the graduating class to take expressing themselves very seriously. He said that you're living in a world where love and forgiveness have become meaningless. They are words people have learned to laugh at. So it seems like love and forgiveness matter more than anything.
I'm trying to think of what would be my last. You know how they always say, like, what's the last text you sent to your significant other, and that's the last words that you gave them?
Oh.
Do you know what the last...
I'll pull it up right now.
That's what she said. Oh, man. So if this was my last words to my wife, it would just say, good luck, ha-ha.
Good luck. Mine said, love my bear, XOXO.
Aww.
I do love my big bear.
Is that what you call Brad?
My big bear.
Big Bear Brad, Triple B?
Yeah.
All right, Danny. Okie dokie. Do you use that term, too?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's my last one.
I say okie dokie to my wife at least once a day.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I am very worried that Sarah's is not safe for work.
Do we need to get the bleep button out?
It is actually safe. Oh my God, be careful, cutie. I'm good, but I miss you.
But you're not good. We gotta remove that part.
I'm gonna throw up, guys.
Okie dokie. Good luck, Big Bear. So crazy. Oh, man, where the hell are we? I just lost track. Okay, there we are. There's a library in Finland that just received an old library book. It was 80 years overdue. At that point, do you even return it? It was a copy of Conan Doyle's The Refugees, which I've been trying to take out, but it's been gone for all this time. So now I can finally get it out of there. And according to a librarian, I mean, this one came, they took it out back in 1939. They say, we get these kinds of returns all the time, like tens of years late every once in a while. But this happens quite a bit because sometimes someone passes away, you go through their stuff and you realize, oh, there's still a book that they never returned to the library. And so the families are like, we should probably bring it back.
When was the last time you checked out a book from a library, Steve?
Oh, Miss Smarty Pants. It was maybe like 3 months ago.
Really?
It was a children's book for Tatum. My wife made me go with them.
Oh,
I do not have a library card.
I need to try and get back into that place because it's been decades for me.
Do any of you have library cards? No, Danny? No.
No. I need to get on that, though.
My wife has one so she could take Tatum to go take out some books, and that's about it.
For the kids, Sarah, I need to be a better mom.
Oh,
I need to introduce
I don't
them to
have
the library.
those, so I'm like, why would you go to a library?
Honestly, nothing has changed. It's still the same. It's just a big place full of books. It's not much fun.
Does it still smell the same?
I don't know what I was expecting.
And it's like way too quiet.
Super quiet.
I used to get in so much trouble back in the day.
And when you have a toddler, it's kind of hard to keep them quiet.
Yeah.
Hey, as far as weather, we are going to hit a high of 77 degrees. A perfect day to go check out your Seattle Mariners at home, T-Mobile Park, taking on Chicago. And that is the DMD, and that's what's up.
The Daily Migs Show.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Before AI can help your business predict demand, accelerate growth, inform decisions, automate tasks, reveal insights, generate content, you have to trust it. Introducing Watson X Governance, helping you govern any AI as data, models, and policies change so you can scale it responsibly. Let's create AI that begins with trust with Watson X Governance. Learn more at ibm.com/governance. IBM, let's create.